Hey, thanks for joining us. Dr. Dow here today. We're going to talk about your immune system and how to strengthen it, how to win the battle for your immune system, and how we can increase its function. So, number one, we need to understand that 70 to 80% of your immune system is located in your gut. And when I say your gut, I don't mean your stomach, but more specifically your small intestines. So again, 70 to 80% of it is housed in your small intestines. And that's where a lot of course, digestion is occurring, and also the absorption of that food as it gets broken down. So there's a lot of research now going on, and you might have heard the term leaky gut, but there's a lot of research going on with that. And basically, leaky gut, the causes of leaky gut, number one would be food sensitivities. Number two would be autoimmune diseases, things like MS, which have been associated with and very much implicated with leaky gut. And number three is basically an overall weakened and imbalanced immune system. So those are the three things that I would say are associated with leaky gut. Basically, leaky gut is an increased permeability of the walls of your small intestines, where the food, as it gets broken down and as it's assimilating and as it's getting absorbed, unfortunately it's not fully being absorbed, and once it does, it basically is being recognized by the brain and being recognized by your immune system as something, as a foreign object, because it has come into the body by a different channel, if you will. So when it doesn't come through the food, doesn't get absorbed through the right channels, it's looked at it as a foreign body. So there's a reaction that happens, and that's where that inflammation in the gut occurs, which can lead to a slew of other conditions. So that's our issue with leaky gut. Two, as far as increasing your immune system, we have to look at a good probiotic. So what are probiotics? They are good bacteria that help us digest food and nutrients. Two, they're going to help us detoxify your colon. And three, they basically help with just balancing out the good and the bad bacteria that you have already in your gut. We want to have a really, what we call, a good gut flora. So yes, unfortunately, there's some bad bacteria that's floating around in your system right now. We even have some fungus in your system, relatively harmless, something called Candida. I should do an actual video on Candida by itself, because it deserves its own video. So, but just know that the probiotics are good bacteria that are adding to your good flora to try to overcome that bad bacteria. And that's where that overgrowth of all that, the bad bacteria, can lead to other health problems. So the two things, though, we have to know about probiotics is, one, the number one killer, I would say, of probiotics and just good bacteria in your gut would be antibiotic prescriptions. Okay, remember, not only are antibiotics going to kill the bad bacteria that may be otherwise causing a fever or whatnot, something like that, but they do not discriminate. So they're going to kill the good bacteria that you have in your system and your gut already. So they're just going to wipe out that and your probiotics. And then two, consumption of too much sugar. Okay, so bad bacteria can actually start to feed off of that sugar and then cause that imbalance, as well as the candida that I mentioned before. So that being said, again, that's where, when you have too much sugar in your diet, especially the refined stuff, you have too much of an imbalance. Now the good bacteria, the good bacteria is losing to the bad bacteria, and all of a sudden you get this overgrowth of bad bacteria that unfortunately can wreak havoc on your system. It doesn't allow us to process and digest our food very well, and unfortunately that could lead to some health issues. So those are the two things I would say is food sensitivities, as far as looking at your immune system. And what our food testing does here in the office is it's testing for a very specific part of your immune system. It's testing for the IgG portion of your immune system, where it's not the fast reacting immune system where we've come to know as the anaphylactic shock. These type of reactions can take 10 to 12 hours, sometimes 2 to 3 days, and it's those foods that are chronically and constantly being eaten that your body reacts to, causing this inflammation. And again, two, I would say, is a good probiotic. And those are the two things right now I would look at. If you have any questions, by all means, give us a call. If you need any other info, you can message me on this link. But if you like it, please like it, share it with your friends. And by all means, we appreciate you always listening to us, and thanks for listening today. Take care. Bye-bye.